What up, what up, what up? This Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This one is Divorce Court, all right? Catch me if you can. I'm not going to hold you. I haven't seen this before. Let's go in.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Mims versus Mims.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mims, Mrs. Mims. Mr. Mims, you are in court today because you say you made the biggest mistake of your life marrying a spoiled brat. You say your wife doesn't take your marriage seriously, you don't trust her, and there's no quality time being spent. You want a divorce.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mrs. Mims, you say you're here to try to save your marriage, but on one condition. Your husband needs to stop trying to control you. You admit to damaging the trust in your marriage, but you believe you can get it back on track.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is an actual marriage. Although you all are still relatively young, you've been together for a period of time, and you all have children together. You were building a family. Mr. Mims, tell me how we got here and why we're here.
I'm here because I just honestly don't.
Wait a minute. I just seen something. I think the judge got the same pen I do. I know that's minor, but look at the pen she got, y'all. Now look at this pen. Ain't this the same pen she got? I don't know, just something I noticed. Not a big deal, but we got the same writing utensils, that's all. Not a part of the story, but a part of my story. Let's go in.
Tell me how we got here and why we're here.
I'm here because I just honestly don't trust her at all. Like, the trust is kind of faded away. Our communication is terrible. We don't spend any time together at all.
It sounds like the marriage has just broken down and the relationship is broken down.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Ms. Mims?
No.
What say you to these allegations, ma'am?
I am here because I'm trying to fight for my marriage. I really want to save my marriage. I just need Greg to understand that I'm really trying and that he needs to stop just being so controlling all the time.
Well, let's see where we started out and how we got to this point. Tell me where you met and how we got to the point where you don't trust her.
Okay, we met at work. We used to work at a fast food restaurant together. We met and we had split apart.
Let me make sure I got this right. You started off as friends and colleagues working together.
Correct.
It grew into some sort of romantic relationship?
Correct.
Tell me, when was the first instance where you felt like you couldn't trust her?
Well, we separated, had a little break for about 2 weeks. And during that 2-week period of time, she found somebody else to talk to.
Are we talking talk or are we talking talk?
Found somebody else to have sexual relations with.
In other words, she had a hookup in the interim.
Correct. She found out she was kind of like pregnant.
There's no such thing as kind of like pregnant.
Okay, she found out she was pregnant.
That's a fact.
So I didn't believe the baby was mine in my head. And it kind of hurt me, like, from 2 weeks.
But Greg,
that.
you're not telling it exactly how it happened. When we broke up, me and the guy ended up talking to each other. I also was still seeing Greg as well.
So were you sleeping with both men at the same time?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
So in reality, the baby could have been either one?
Either one of them, yes. And Greg knew that because I made that very clear to him. And once he knew that, I explained to him that we had to do the DNA test after the baby got here and things like that, which Greg was on board with. He also wanted to get back in a relationship with me.
While you were pregnant?
While I was pregnant, knowing that the baby possibly could have been someone else's.
So, Mr. Mims, you were willing to accept the baby no matter what?
I did have some doubts that it was mine, but I didn't have, like, the whole doubt. And it wasn't fair to me or the baby for me to leave not knowing.
Tell me, the baby yours?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So the baby is indeed yours, Mr. Mims?
Correct.
All right. Mr. Mims, what else makes you say that you don't trust her?
This particular day, I was at home with the kids, and Kendra went out with her friends. Now, we have set, like, some type of boundary in our relationship that goes to where we come back home at a respectful time in the marriage. Our time that we set, that we agreed to, me and Kendra, was 3 a.m. You know, because the club's closed, maybe at 2 o'clock, you might grab something to eat, be back home.
That's right, because there's nothing else open after 2 a.m. but gas stations and legs.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's reasonable. You know what I mean? 3 a.m. You can't be home at 3 a.m. What else you out there doing? Gas station and legs. That's what the judge said. I agree 100%. So if you out past that, then you're not respecting your mate. Whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. You're not respecting your spouse, especially if your spouse is not out there with you like that. They're at home with the kids and you out gallivanting, you know. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. You need to respect your mate and be home at a reasonable time. 3 a.m.? What's out there? What's out there at 3 a.m.? Now, look, I know they're young, right? She only 24. She ain't got the party and stuff out of her system. So she got to be up in the clubs. But why would a married woman be in clubs? If you're not in the clubs with your husband, what you there for? That's just my question. Now I know some women gonna be like, well, she could do whatever she want. Just cause she married don't mean she in jail and all this other stuff. Nah, it's about common courtesy and respecting your spouse and respecting your husband and you're respecting your family image. Nowadays, a lot of women don't care about, not all, but a lot of women don't care about their family image. They just do whatever they want to do. Everything is impulsive. Okay? Men are guilty of this too, but we're talking about her right now because she's in question. A lot of women are just impulsive. They do whatever they want to do, but if the guy were to give that energy back, then it's all kind of problems. I think 3 o'clock is a reasonable time, especially if he's willing to work with her on that. But let me find out she can't even do that. Let's go in.
So I went to sleep.
I need to live my
woke up.
life. Like,
I understand that.
you want to control everything I do. Okay.
Miss Mims, what were you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning?
We literally just lost track of time. Like, literally, that's all it was.
3 o'clock in the morning?
She actually came home at 7 o'clock that morning.
Okay.
After I called her
were you?
I called her several times.
Miss Mims, she wasn't at the club. I'm telling you right now.
I was with somebody else.
Bomba.
Ain't nothing open after 3 a.m. but gas stations
Exactly.
and legs.
I was with somebody else.
Because I kind of knew in my heart that something else was going on.
Whenever I'm with Greg, it's never like a good time. Like, me and him can't just have a good time. It's always an argument, like, involving. And it's just like, I don't get that with the other guy. I don't have to deal with that with him.
But of course, you're not.
The other guy you're not married to the other guy. The other guy don't care nothing about nothing but smashing. Are you serious? You ain't gonna get no argument from you're a married woman. I don't care that you're 24. When you said those vows, those are vows, okay? You know, you're supposed to be there for your husband. Of course, the other guy is not going to put no pressures on you. He don't care nothing about your family. He don't care nothing about your husband. He don't care nothing about your kids. He don't care nothing about your family image, like I was talking about earlier. He only care about smashing. And you gave that up to him because you want to live your life. You want to do what you want to do. And then you want to cry and play victim? Really? Is that what we doing? Let's hear some more.
Not going to get that with somebody that's only want legs. They're not, they're going to do whatever they can in order to make you feel comfortable, in order to get what they want, and then they're not going to care about you no more.
That's just what you're telling me. Like, everybody is not out for the same thing. Gregory, when are you going to make me feel like I can be myself around you? Like, I'm never able to be who I am. I feel like I gotta change who I am just to make you comfortable.
But Ms.
That's not fair.
Mims, did you or did you not get married?
We did.
You about to mess up what you got at the crib. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Mr. Mims, is that the first time you heard her say and confirm that she was actually with somebody else?
Yes. Yes, it was. And it hurt me to my heart. It does. I even have to lie to my kids. Like previously, like a couple months ago, I had to lie to my kids because Miss Kendra moved out of the house. Left me with the kids at the house. She moved out of the house for a couple of months.
Mrs. Mims, are you involved in a relationship with a person who it makes you feel less constrained?
No, we're not in a relationship at all. Do I still communicate with him? Yes.
Why?
I'm not happy.
But I can see that. I can look you right in the eye and see you're unhappy. But you can't make everybody else around you unhappy. You are allowed to say, this is not what I want. But walking away without making arrangements for your family and taking responsibility for your decision is what a child does. You want to be treated like a grown-up? Be a grown-up.
And I agree with that. And I'm going to say the same thing that a lot of women say to a lot of men. Okay? Turn this up, ladies. I'm going to say the same thing a lot of women say to a lot of men. Instead of cheating, just get a divorce and leave. And then you can do whatever you want to do. But don't cheat while you're in the marriage. Okay? That's what a lot of women say to a lot of men, and they have a point about that. But I'm going to say that to this young lady right here. If you're not happy, first of all, why did you even get married? Second of all, if you're not happy, getting up under somebody else is not how you get over your husband. Well, you don't want to be held accountable. That's the problem. Okay? You don't want to be held accountable. You don't like that your husband has structure in the household. You want to be free to do whatever the hell you want to do, with no regard to him, your kids, or even yourself, or your family image. I want to live my life. I want to be free. Well, when you accepted having a kid and you accepted a husband, you accepted responsibilities. You were telling yourself you're grown enough to handle these responsibilities, but you're still acting like a child. Okay? Still acting like a child. Let's go back in.
What do you need to help enhance your happiness in this relationship?
Stop being so controlling. That is my main thing.
Ms. Mims, you've checked out of this relationship. You love him, but I get the feeling you love what he provides for you. He provides stability, he provides security.
That's how I feel.
And you know your kids are gonna be taken care of. Mrs. Mims, help me to understand this. I know that Mr. Mims has 4 older children, so everybody's in the house.
Just my 2 daughters live in the home with us.
Okay, 2 children that you have together.
Yes.
Who's supposed to be the primary caregiver, or have you just abandoned that also?
No, it's not the case at all. The time that he was recently just talking about was when I left and went to my sister's house, and I just feel like every time he leaves and he goes somewhere else and stays somewhere else whenever we do break up, it's always responsibility on me with the kids. So this time it was more so of a, I'm gonna give you what you give me.
I feel like she put me last. Before her friends and everybody else come first before me and my household.
Mrs. Mims just said, and I heard her say, she's not happy. I heard you say that.
Yes.
Have you said that to Mr. Mims?
I've told him I'm not happy, but I do want to be with him. He's a good man.
What do you need to help enhance your happiness in this relationship?
Stop being so controlling. That is my main thing. And when I say controlling, I've now made it to where, because he was complaining about me going out with my friends, so I've now made it to where I go out every other weekend, and I leave that other weekend.
That is not true at all.
I leave the other weekend open for him. And this is literally, this just started happening. Literally,
2
like
weeks
before
ago.
we came here.
I know, but wait a minute. Here's the thing. That's called I'm trying, okay?
Not true at all. Like, I have asked her, can we go out together? I know she like going out, so I'm asking her, can we go out? I just want to go out with you and your friends, you know, just have fun with you.
When I try to spend time with him, it's boring. It's not, like, I don't get the vibe I get when I'm with my friends. They make me comfortable. They make it to where
Mims, do you want
I
to be
can
married?
be me. I do want to be married.
Why?
because, first of all, I got married to Greg because I do love Greg and I am in love with Greg. Greg gives me everything that a man should give a woman.
Your Honor, my last straw.
Well, what was the problem? If he gives you everything a man should give a woman, what the hell is the problem? Oftentimes, not all women, but some women, I feel like they want a man who's a leader, but they can't stand leadership. Okay? They want a man who's a leader, but they don't like leadership. They don't like when a man is leading the ship for whatever reason. They'll either combat with him, they'll wrestle power away from him, they'll be combative, they won't listen, they'll ignore him. You want a leader, you want a man to be a leader, right? Then let him lead. What is all of this? He does everything a woman could desire, but I can't stand his guts. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, I know some ladies would be like, yeah, she's just immature, she's childish, she's not ready to be a wife. Yeah, that may be the case. I may agree with that. She is childish, she's not ready to be a wife. Like I said, they want the benefits that a man brings, money, stability, leadership, but they don't want to be held accountable for nothing. You out here smashing randoms at clubs and you call yourself a wife. I wonder if a part of her knows that she's in the wrong. That's why she's crying. Because she knows she got a good man, but she just can't get no act right. Let's hit his brother's last straw.
It was my birthday, my previous birthday that just passed. She surprised me with a night out at the bar, you know, drinks, and some of my family was there, and she comes sit down. Her two friends walk in, the same friends we talking about, walk in the door. Okay, no problem. I didn't know they was coming, but that's fine. Everybody sitting around, her friends get up to walk to the dance floor. Kendra gets up and walk to the dance floor with them. I had a couple drinks. I'm like, well, my wife at the dance floor, I want to go dance with my wife. So I get up, go to the dance floor to try to dance with my wife, and she pushed me off.
That's because of the dress that I had on was way too short to be bending over the way that I dance anyways. It was too short to dance like that.
What the hell did you wear the dress for then? Do you wear it when you're not with him? You want to push your husband away. You complain that your husband is not fun, but you don't even want to dance with him on the dance floor. You got out there and started dancing anyway. But you don't want him on you like that. But you'll let randoms throw you game and smash you. So I know some of y'all be thinking, oh, it's not, look, don't be so hard on her, or don't be so hard on the ladies and stuff like that. I just don't think that a lot of times women see error in their ways. I'm not saying the man is perfect. But in this case, we are talking about her, okay? So keep in mind, if I could lean on this guy, I would. This is still an unbiased opinion. And my unbiased opinion is I see all kind of issues with her. I'm not seeing none with him. She said he gives a woman everything that she needs. I got to go by that. Okay? And the problem is, she want to push her husband away on the dance floor, but she claims he's not fun. She want to complain that he is too strict. You can't turn a 304 into a housewife. You just can't. Fellas, stop doing that. And I'm not, look, she's given that. because she's smashing randoms at clubs. She's wearing dresses, but all of a sudden when her husband is up on her, it's a problem. I bet you wore that to the club before when he wasn't with you, and it was all good. Did you push randoms off of you? Something else is going on here. Let's go in.
Your Honor, I got the picture of the dress. I did send a picture of the dress to the court.
All right, let me see the evidence. That's not too short. That's a cute dress. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. The dress was short if I would have bent over.
Listen,
just
you
didn't
can
wanna
stand there
answer.
and two-step. You just with your man and you're celebrating their birthday. If you don't want to be with him, that's another thing. And that's really what we're talking about. Mrs. Mims, you've checked out of this relationship. You love him, but I get the feeling you love what he provides for you. He provides stability. He provides security.
That's how I feel.
And this man right here, you know
exactly
your
how I
kids are
feel.
gonna be taken care of. I think that is what Mr. Mims is doing for you. You all have brought a witness in here. Mrs. Mims loves Mr. Mims, but doesn't like Mr. Mims.
I'm not choosing sides. I don't choose sides for a reason. But I have witnessed the miscommunication.
Can this relationship be saved? I understand that you all have brought a witness in here.
Yes.
Who does know a little bit more about your relationship, and you both have agreed that she can testify. Will you please get the witness, because I would love some insight as to someone who has actually been around. The two of you are not respectful of what relationships are. I'd love to know what role Ms. Walker, who is our witness, who's joined us. Please introduce yourself to the court and tell me how you know the plaintiff and the defendant.
Hello, my name is Ebony Walker. I'm Kendra's older sister.
What have you witnessed between the two of them? Because I am going to tell you my bias right now, since you're the older sister. They don't know how to talk to each other, and communication is down the toilet. I would love to know your insight.
Okay, well, before I put my insight in, I don't want Greg to think that I'm choosing sides, because I'm not choosing sides. I don't choose sides for a reason. But I have witnessed the miscommunication, the arguments, maybe marriage counseling, I think will help them out. And it's really just the communication. They don't communicate well. They don't. It's before the conversation, before talking, it's arguing. They go straight to arguing.
So exactly what my interpretation is what the reality
It's
is.
exactly what it is.
Tell me why that is.
For instance, Kendra had a gathering at the home one time. Greg was there too. We all were there. Her friends were there. Towards the end of the night, her friends decided, they want to go out. Greg didn't want Kendra to go out. Kendra knew Greg didn't want her to go out, but Kendra still went anyways. Which we all knew that was going to make Greg upset. And I feel like she could have stayed home with her husband. She already had been with her friends all day. Even though we were all together, she was with her friends all day, so her friends already had their time. Only thing Greg wants is equal time. He doesn't care that she goes out with her friends. He just wants equal time. But it's like she's giving her friends more time than she's giving her husband. So that's the problem. And Greg, for instance, they have times where they're being petty towards each other. So one time Greg didn't want her to go somewhere, and she wanted to go anyway, so he went and took her license plate off the car, so she couldn't go anywhere. You know, they could have just talked about it instead of being petty towards each other.
I think you provided 100% clear insight. And I think it was extremely fair, right down the middle, because it's simply facts. So, Ms. Walker, I'm just going to say to you, can this relationship be saved? Because I get the sense that Mrs. Mims doesn't particularly like Mr. Mims, loves Mr. Mims, but doesn't particularly like Mr. Mims, because her behavior does not say, this is somebody I like.
Well, I wouldn't say that she doesn't like him. She definitely likes him. She's in love with him.
There's a big difference, though. I want you to understand what I'm saying.
It is. She never gave me the impression that she doesn't like him. As far as the fun thing goes, and she wants to have fun, and she don't think he's fun. I think it's the age difference or whatever. Greg is at the stage where he wants to sit back and relax. He wants to be home. He don't want to go out and club. But she's at the stage where she wants to club. She wants to go out and have fun. And I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with why he can't go sometime with her. I don't see why that would be a problem.
Because she wanted to put her
But
friends
Kendra knows that she goes out a lot. Kendra knows that she goes out a lot. She does. And like I said before, Greg spoke to me and told me he just wants equal time.
Ms. Walker, I appreciate your...
What is she looking for? What is she looking for? What is she looking for in the club? Is she addicted to validation? Is she addicted to attention from other guys? Some women get trapped in that cycle of likes and validation and attention, all of those things to validate them as a woman. And when they get married, they feel like they lost it and don't nobody care about them anymore. They don't even feel attractive. Maybe guys aren't looking at them anymore when they get married. So they start missing the attention that they used to get. So they got to go back out into the club because they're addicted to attention. That's what it seems like to me with this young lady. And that's why it hits dopamine. She get dopamine hits off of validation. That's why she think it's fun. It's fun going out to clubs. It's fun drinking. It's fun dressing in low cut dresses, just as long as her icky husband is not with her. That's an ick. I don't need your validation. I need validation from other men. Okay, the real test is other men. What do other men think about me? I don't need your validation. I married you. I got you at home. You're doing my dirty work. You're doing my bills. You're doing my providing. You're doing my protection. You're taking care of my kids. You're my live-in babysitter. Your job is to stabilize my life. But I need to get out here and wild out because that's fun to me. I need that constant validation from other men. I'm addicted to attention. And your validation don't count. Now, I can tell you already right now, whatever this guy's love language is probably not getting met. If he loves quality time, she ain't meeting that. If he loves physical touch, she pushing him off the dance floor. She ain't meeting that. If he loves words of affirmation, she ain't meeting that. Okay? Never mind the gifts and never mind, what's the other one? I forgot the other one. But acts of service. Okay? I don't know if she's giving him that either. Whatever his love language is, she ain't giving it to him. She probably ain't giving him none of them. Okay? Her thing is she is addicted to attention and validation from other men. Because she was probably getting a lot of that before they got together. You know, maybe they was working at Wendy's together. You know what I mean? Order a double, a double pounder or whatever, a quarter pounder or whatever, and winked at her in the window. This is not it's not an attack on Wendy's, just for the record. I'm just saying. She was probably working the register, getting a whole lot of attention from a lot of guys who in the drive-through, winking at her. She started to get addicted to that attention. And he was there working with her and he fell in her favor, but she's not getting those winks at the window no more. She don't feel important anymore. So what she got to do? She got to go out to the club and get that validation. I stay clear away from women who seek validation. If you need your social media in order to feel like a real and rounded person, you're not for me, because you're going to always seek other men's validation, and that is not something that is healthy for any kind of relationship. It's a selfish need. The only validation you should be seeking is your husband's, and you are not. You don't care about his validation. Okay, that's the only one you should be addicted to, not strangers who just want to wreck your family and smash you. It could be a maturity thing, but this young lady is addicted to dopamine, and she get dopamine hits from other men, and that is a no-go. Do I think they should get divorced? I think it's practically inevitable because I don't see her kicking the dopamine habit of getting attention from other men. This is why there's a saying, you can't turn a 304 into a housewife. You can't. Anyway, let's go back in.
Your time, and I appreciate your insight. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
I'm honestly hurt, bro. This is like the first time I heard that you just said, when I was calling you, 7 o'clock in the morning, you sitting laid up with somebody else. Like, how you think that make me feel? You don't even think about that. You're just thinking about yourself at that point. And that's crazy, and that's bold. I have not once stepped out on you, not once.
No, but you done stuff to make me feel
I have
idiot.
not stepped out on you,
You're not innocent.
once.
You always think that you're innocent and you do nothing.
Do you actually believe that he has slept with somebody else? Do you believe that?
I don't believe that he slept with anybody else, but I went through his Instagram and caught him talking to other people. He keeps telling me he never did. I went and seen it myself.
So do you all, again, I'm going right back to this so that we can resolve this. Do you really want to be married? Now, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Mims is very hurt, and he has every right to be. And because this is divorce court, we have divorce papers that have been drawn up. They're always at the ready. Because if you walk in here and you tell me that you are considering whether or not to file for divorce, I want to facilitate what it is you want to happen. But I don't get the sense that there's no love here. But I do get the sense that there's no like here on your part. Mrs. Mims, there does not seem to be the respect that a wife gives her husband, no matter what. I'm gonna say this to you, and I understand that you literally are more than half my age. You are much younger. You could be my child. But there is no way that I would put any girlfriends above my husband or my children. Under no circumstances. There's nothing that these streets can offer you.
Gregory, I want to apologize for publicly humiliating you and not taking our marriage seriously. I'm gonna do better, I promise. You just have to work with me.
That's the moment I've been waiting for. Mr. Mims, you married a young girl,
Absolutely.
but you fell in love with a woman. And if you will be patient with this young girl becoming a woman, you might get the wife that you want. You all are going to have some work to do. This is exactly the kind of case that I'd like to offer some counseling, because I'd like to have someone who can sit with the two of you and help you navigate what building a real trusting relationship is, if you both will commit to working hard at it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Mims, I need you to put friends and hanging out on the back burner right now, because you need to rebuild some time with your husband. And if you tell me you want to learn how to do that and communicate in a way that makes it a true partnership, I will offer you this.
Yeah.
But I need the two of you to be committed to it, because I won't waste your time,
Right.
I won't waste a counselor's time, and I won't waste this court's time.
Yes.
I really do wish the two of you luck, but a mature relationship requires you to bring your whole self to the relationship. You two need to get to work, but you need to get to work together. Robert, young people don't think about what the responsibilities of marriage are.
Right. I tell my friends, my family, I hope everyone that's watching, don't cheat, because it's so hard to come back from that.
It's extremely hard to come back from, and you saw the pain that was in Mr. Mims's face because that's a breach of trust. That's a bridge too far.
Right.
Let's hope with counseling they can regain that trust, but it's going to be a hard road.
Absolutely.
Let me say this. I'm not very optimistic. I know she started crying and she said that she's going to try. Here's one thing I learned. Dopamine addictions are hard to overcome. And I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about dopamine addictions. If you're married to someone who gambles a lot and they get a dopamine hit off of gambling, it is going to be pulling teeth to get them to stop gambling. If you're married to someone who is on drugs, it is going to be pulling teeth to get them to stop doing drugs. If you marry someone who is addicted to male attention, it is going to be pulling teeth to get them to stop seeking other men's attention. I like to put my bets on couples who have misunderstandings, but when you're dealing with someone who has what I would consider an addiction, I think she has an addiction to other men. She is bored out of tears with her husband now. How is that going to change? It's not going to change. Even if she get counseling, she's still going to be bored to tears. So it's headed for divorce, unfortunately. Here's what's going to happen. She's going to do what she do. She is going to probably end up divorcing this guy, or he might end up divorcing her because she can't stay away from other men. She's going to get probably ran. She's probably going to have a hot girl summer. Let's just put it that way. Have a hot girl summer, get older in her 40s, and then she'll be willing to settle down with a man again. I can see her future already. Headed for divorce by the time she's 25 or 30. Have a hot girl summer, all in her 30s, and then when she hit 40, she'll be ready to settle down again. Because the battle of getting men attention, she's not going to be able to get it. She's probably going to be a lot bigger in weight when she get into her 40s. She's not going to be as attractive then. So it's and then she's going to give up trying to get their attention, and then she's going to want to find her one. Then she'll be done with the whole seeking male attention thing. But she has to go through this phase. Unfortunately, she has to go through her hot girl summer phase, and she has to, and Father Time has to catch up with her before I think she's going to be fixable. I don't think that therapy is going to get them through this. She has an addiction to male attention and validation, and her friends' attention and validation too. That's another part of this. She got female friends who is egging her on, okay, and not holding her accountable. So I don't see a bright future for this couple, unfortunately. I see him getting remarried to somebody else. He'll probably keep the kids and find a better wife. But that's my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think about this. I really would like to know. Do you think that they're going to get divorced? Should they get divorced? Should they stay together? Put it in the comments. I really would like to know. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.